Welcome everybody to a brand new special episode of the Monday Show. As always, my name is Troy Everett Loxton. Joining me is my co-host Raul Rodriguez. But today we have a very, very special guest. You'll know him from The Crow. Back in the day, he was a great actor. We actually got to bring him back to life specially for this. Welcome everybody, Brandon Lee.
Hi, yes, thank you. I loved performing in The Crow.
But no, everybody. But no, everybody. Welcome to our show, Brandon Hanna. He's a great friend of us. Anyway, guys, how are you doing? It's the Super Bowl. We got a whole bunch of trailers coming out.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, some really good trailers during the Super Bowl.
I mean, can we just start right off the bat by talking about Cloverfield quickly? Because holy shit!
That was a surprise.
Yeah, definitely. I was really surprised to see it, and then to find out that it's going to be available on Netflix after the game is even crazier.
I know. I was telling Raul this. I'm kind of mad because now I'm going to have to spend all night rewatching every single Cloverfield movie before seeing the new one. Because I'm just like that, so I'm gonna get no fucking sleep tonight.
Oh, yeah. I was really surprised to find out that it's like a direct connection to the original movie.
Yeah.
Unlike 10 Cloverfield Lane, which was kind of its own thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious, Raul. Do you I know you were talking kind of about some of your predictions and stuff, but do you think that 10 Cloverfield Lane takes place with the first and the third one now, or is it set kind of on its own little thing?
No. They're both. The three movies are happening at the same time.
Ooh. Yeah. See, I think it would be awesome if, in the third one, or even in the fourth one that they announced, if you see Mary Elizabeth Winstead driving off into the city or something from 10 Cloverfield Lane. That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. No, the only plot hole in 10 Cloverfield Lane, to connect it with the original and this sequel. Mary Elizabeth wasn't she using an iPhone, and in Cloverfield, the first one, there were no iPhones, and they were filming everything in a camera. That's the only plot hole in the connections between the three movies. So.
Jeez, I didn't even realize that. That's
Troy, the iPhone is a big focus in the first 10 minutes on 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Well, no, I know, but I figured I didn't realize that there were no iPhones when the first one came out. But I'm a young gun, so.
Yeah, so maybe that one doesn't take place the same night as the first and third.
Or maybe they're gonna say that these kids in the first one, there were some really hardcore hipsters and they didn't want to use some iPhones that night. And they film everything in a camera. Plot hole resolved.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, I'm just honestly in shock that they're doing this release. But no, the only other trailers, I mean, I'll do a quick rundown of the ones that have been released so far. So you had the Jack Ryan TV show. There's another show, Castle Rock, which is apparently a Stephen King adaptation. And at the end of it, you see the thing for Shawshank, the prison. So I actually have no idea if that's a connection to Shawshank, because I know King obviously wrote it. So that fascinated me. We also had the trailers for Red Sparrow, A Quiet Place, Jurassic Park, the Han Solo movie, which Raul will be very excited about. You had Mission Impossible, obviously Cloverfield, Skyscraper, Westworld, and then Avengers Infinity War. So out of those ones, what are you guys looking forward to the most, I guess?
I don't know about the most, but I'm really interested in A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised to see a new trailer for that, and they kind of show a slightly bigger glimpse at whatever these creatures are that are attacking, if it was maybe an alien invasion or something like that. I don't know if you guys picked up on any more details.
No, the only go ahead.
My only fear about A Quiet Place, it feels so familiar to Cops at Night.
Oh, yeah.
That's my only fear. My big fear is that this movie is also like a cop-out, and this is a drama instead of horror.
See, that was the only thing for me. Like, I was really, really excited to hear or see that Blunt and Krasinski are in it together. Their chemistry obviously is going to be incredible because they're a real life couple. So I think that's going to be fascinating. But I agree. And now that you say that, Raul, I could totally see them doing, like, they're going to market it as a specific, horror thriller. But you're going to go watch it and it will be like It Comes at Night and be more of like a soft drama.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I hope it's a horror thriller.
A horror thriller, yeah.
And
I hope also the team, but this is one of my worries because it's a trend that studios are making. Also, like the Natalie Portman Annihilation movie.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that that movie's not going to sell around the world because the test audiences around the world didn't like it because it was very intelligent premise instead of being a horror movie as they marketed. And so Annihilation is going to be on Netflix.
And that's
outside of the United States.
Oh. Well, and that's the one directed by the guy who did Ex Machina, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that movie was fantastic. So I'm excited for it. But that's weird. I guess, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but still, I already saw the Cloverfield 30-second trailer like 15 times. Start recording. I already overanalyzed. I already said to Troy my different theories. Like, I'm gonna say it again because we wasn't recording, but my theory is that the monster from Cloverfield and the monster from 10 Cloverfield Lane are different monsters that they rise up at the same time, but we're seeing different monsters because it's happening at the same time. Because my theory is that the satellite that is going to happen in the third one right now, that is going to come out on tonight, the satellite opened like a Bermuda Triangle / like portal of ancient beings that they were trapped for a lot of millenniums, and they went to different sides of the world to attack it. That's my theory for the whole Cloverfield universe.
When I watch 10 Cloverfield Lane tonight, I'll try to pick apart to see if you could tell what state they are in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Because
it's New Orleans.
And what was the first one?
New York.
New York? Okay, so then your theory then necessarily could work.
Troy, and I only saw Cloverfield once in theaters, and so I saw Cloverfield Lane twice in theaters, and I pick up on those details because I love Cloverfield so much into Cloverfield Lane that I search for every single clue.
Yeah, see, like, and it was, for me, Cloverfield, like, I watched the first one actually right before seeing 10 Cloverfield Lane. Like, I hadn't seen it before. So I had watched that and then went and saw the new 10 Cloverfield Lane, on in the theaters, and like it blew me away. Like that film is insane. So I really hope that yeah, I'm just stoked. I'm so stoked. I can't believe we get another movie tonight. That is, or I guess yesterday when people are listening to this.
Yeah, the 10 Cloverfield Lane, that was really crazy. Like how, because I always thought at the end it kind of set it up that it was like an alien invasion going on, maybe more than just the monster, but like an entire military. And then I thought, oh, maybe the monster is in New York is somehow connected to this alien invasion, kind of like how in Pacific Rim they use giant monsters to attack other worlds.
And remember in Pacific Rim, Brandon, they came from a portal.
Yeah.
Like my theory could happen. What if that satellite opened a portal to different universes? From one universe, that Cloverfield monster came. From another universe, those aliens came. It could be like a cabin in the woods situation, but the cabin in the woods was a portal to different universes, like a lot of different monsters.
Wow. Yeah, I hope that's what it is because I always love your theories, Raul. I think Raul should be Mr. Hollywood. He needs to be in charge of everything because everything you say is just fantastic.
I hope so because if I will be pitching like J.J. Abrams will already give me a check and I was like, you figure this universe out, go and make the other ones.
Well, I mean, and talking about Cloverfield, I guess we should talk about the elephant in the room for a bit. Did you guys see the Han Solo trailer? Or the teaser, I guess?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Let's start with you, Brandon. What did you think?
I'm very intrigued by it. It kind of has that gritty look to it that Rogue One had, and I really appreciated that about Rogue One.
Hey, Brandon, I know that you're the first on the this is your first time on the channel. Just be very careful what you say about Rogue One, because Raul, honestly, I don't ever hear him say anything positive about it. So.
Yeah,
I loved it though.
Discussed it a couple times that he doesn't care for it very much.
Man, and I loved it. Rogue One's one of my favorite Star Wars films.
The only scene in Rogue One that I like is the Darth Vader scene. That's it.
But no, anyway, continue. So yeah, I agree. It did have a very much cinematic look, just like Rogue One, which I think is smart. Because it did feel and look very much like Star Wars.
Oh yeah, and I like the whole. Looks like they're going the Legends angle of Han Solo being in the Imperial military somehow as a pilot, and then working his way out and becoming a smuggler. Ooh. Or who knows? Maybe he could just be going undercover for whatever reason, and that's why he's trying to join the Empire. Who knows? But like the one concern that I would have is we didn't really get to see much of Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo in the trailer. So I'm still a little worried as how he's going to come across, if I'm really going to believe that he's Han Solo.
Yeah, and that's I think that they probably did that purposefully, because I think when they announced, I'm assuming in the trailer, I guess that came out today on Monday, I bet you we're going to hear some dialogue. I'm assuming, but yeah, I think people are not going to like it. I think it's going to be very controversial still, considering it's, So,
yeah, you could probably just bank on most people who hated The Last Jedi already hate this movie.
Well, I don't know, because this feels...
There's people like me that love The Last Jedi, and I already hated this Han Solo movie.
Well, you also hated Rogue One, so
yes.
The anthology spin-off films are not off to a good start with you.
I think that the only one that I'm gonna like is the Obi-Wan movie. That's the only one that I want.
And I swear, they better get the director from Hell or High Water to do the Obi-Wan movie, because that would be insane. I would love that. Get Ewan to come back. Ooh, sign me up.
I would be stoked to see Ewan McGregor come back as Obi-Wan.
Wow, I just imagine a Brent Sheridan script, but with Obi-Wan. When you say Hell or High Water.
Hey, we just need one of these movies to like connect into Cloverfield. So like get Obi-Wan to come into town and fight all the Cloverfield monsters.
Well, there was like some shades of the Cloverfield monster in Star Trek.
But no, yeah, that was the Super Bowl trailer so far. The only other one that really surprised me, Skyscraper looks like a generic rock action film. He doesn't have...
Skyscraper looks like True Lies and Die Hard.
Yeah, that's what I said in the reaction I did. It did remind me of Die Hard a lot. I mean, it's nice to see Campbell be in a film again. Like, I don't remember what else she's been in since Scream 4. So it's nice to see her, get some work. Being his wife, but...
The other trailer that I liked was Mission Impossible 6.
Oh, yeah. Do you think... Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of scenes where Tom Cruise is in that helicopter, like, dangling down. And there's the one scene where he, like, actually lets go and he, like, starts to fall. My stomach dropped to the floor. I got butterflies. What did you think, Brandon, of the trailer?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I'm not a huge Mission Impossible fan, but it looks pretty entertaining. I think in the trailer you could see a shot from the scene where he injured himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's like jumping onto the other rooftop.
I think they're gonna keep that scene.
Oh, definitely.
They have to keep it.
Man, could you imagine though? Dude,
no,
Tom Cruise is a beast.
I have a theory that Tom Cruise is gonna die in this one
Really?
because
wow.
The way they're setting up the trailer, they're setting up like Ethan is tired.
And, I mean, I really like also having Henry Cavill as the villain with, who is the other actress that was with him? I was blanking on her name.
Rebecca Ferguson?
No. The other bad one. I forget her name. Let me look it up. But yeah.
Angela Bassett?
Yes. Angela Bassett. Seeing her in a Mission Impossible, she wasn't in the other ones, right?
No, she's a new character.
Cool. So then, I'm excited to see her. She's a fantastic actress.
because the other thing that I noticed with the trailer, it looks like a very Logan-esque trailer. It looks like remember in Logan that we know that Wolverine is already prepared to die. He had enough.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that the villain said, have you never tried to deny a mission? You have never wondered what would happen if you deny one? Well, that's a very interesting premise. So I have a feeling that at the end, Ethan is gonna die, and we're gonna see the new head of MI6.
Hopefully, it's Simon Pegg.
Or what if Henry Cavill at the end turns good and he's the new
I would love that.
protagonist for the sequels, because the DCU is gonna die in like 2-3 years. So
well, that's the thing.
Henry Cavill needs insurance.
I agree. And
they're gonna have.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so if they keep making DCEU films, he's just gonna have to keep CGIing his mustache.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Ah! I swear to God. And that's the thing. His character in Mission Impossible, did he really need a mustache? That's my question. Like, I don't know.
Or he turns good and he shaves the mustache.
Oh my God.
I loved that video that Collider did where they had like Dagnino pretend to be someone from Paramount, and he's just like, yeah, like we could have just shaved it off, but we told those suckers no, and they actually CGI'd over it.
Could you imagine? I hope there's a scene in like the middle of the movie where Henry Cavill actually shaves it off, and that he spends like the rest of the movie without any on, just to fucking punch Warner Brothers in the face. That would be hilarious.
Wow. JT is crying right now. The Eagles won.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, woo, sports.
Yeah.
But no, why don't we jump into kind of one of the first segments here on the podcast? That's There's No Place Like the Cinema. I'm sorry to announce that Raul and I didn't watch any of the new releases this year, or this week, sorry. This year. Yeah, no, we've seen releases this year. But yeah, Brandon, did you get to see Winchester by chance?
I have not.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well, then we're going to have to review that movie some point down the road. But let's get into a movie that Raul did end up seeing, and hopefully, Brandon, if you saw it, you can give some of your thoughts, because everyone knows that I love this film. Raul, you finally got to see Gerald's Game.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my God, I loved it.
Oh man, I told you.
I loved it as well.
It was on my top 10 of last year. It's such a fucking good film. I want to watch it again. I really do.
And this is the other thing, I think that I said also right now at the beginning. I would have loved to see this movie at the theater.
Yeah, right?
Because this is the thing. I know that times is changing, and now everything's gonna be on a stupid cloud and everything. Maybe I'm talking like an old person. I don't care, but I like to see the movies in the big screen with surround sound in the darkness, not on my computer because I don't have a TV where I'm living right now.
Well, that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't have the money to go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars to have a huge home system. So I don't know why that they haven't released any. Well, Netflix has, I guess, done some releases to theaters, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and so with Gerald's Game, I was like, I would have loved to see this movie in the theater, because I was seeing it in the crappy house that I live in, and I couldn't even scream or react it because I was like, oh, I was in my head, I was like trying to react, I was like, damn, like, it made me cringe in a lot of scenes. I was like, damn, like, especially when she does the hand scene, when she does the vein, yes, oh my God, it looks so damn real.
Well, same with the dog. Yeah. Like, the scenes with the dog eating all the meat and shit, that looked fucking gross as well.
Oh, yeah.
like I was not expecting that. I thought it was gonna be a more like a psychological thriller. I was not expecting the blood and seeing the cadaver and the dog and everything. I thought it was gonna be like a psychological thriller vibe to it. But I like how they mix both. You know, so the drama behind the memories of her and her father at the same time that she's getting crazy.
Well,
Like a plus to Mike Flanagan. Like,
Yeah, I
wow,
think that.
Hush.
Oh, I
Ouija
love
2,
Hush. I love Hush.
Ouija 2, and now this one. Holy crap!
I think Mike Flanagan's one of the best horror directors
Easily.
working today. He's
Yeah.
incredible.
well, and now announcing that he's going to do a Shining sequel. Are you kidding me? Like, holy
Yeah,
shit!
I'm stoked.
And like that's the thing. Like Raul and I were we posted on Twitter. Like we do. I think Adam Driver would play an awesome. Like, what's the kid's name? Danny.
Yeah.
That would be awesome, especially with Mike Flanagan and the performances that Bruce and Carla give in Gerald's game. Like, and even the main actress in Hush, she was phenomenal. So I'm very, very curious to see what he does, because he is definitely on my radar.
Talking about a trend with Mike Flanagan, this is a thing when I was seeing Gerald's game. Remember that when as a version of her saying, "Imagine what would you do in a bed," and then she gets free. I was like, this is a Michael Flanagan trend. That reminded me that scene in Hush when the girl imagines how she will get up, but at the end the guy kills her, and then that was a dream in that scene.
Ooh,
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Also, talking about a Michael Flanagan trend, that's the premise also of Oculus, because a lot of parts of Oculus was a dream, was an imagination of the characters in the mirror.
Ooh, yeah.
And so I was like, the only one that I need to see, even though in Ouija 2 there wasn't a lot of like the trend that I'm talking about, but I want to see also this week the new one, the Before I Wake, with Jacob Tremblay.
Yeah, I need to see that too. Yeah,
I watched that last week.
Oh, did you like it?
I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't. I don't think it was his best work by any means, but it was definitely, it was a serviceable film. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would go pay $12 at the theater to go see it, but it was a good use of 2 hours, I guess.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan, man, he's just, like I said, Dr. Sleep is gonna be. I don't know. I'm gonna have a heart on the whole time. I'm so excited for it.
Also, spoiler alert, but I need to say it. I said it to you, Troy, when we were messaging during the week. The only thing that bothered me from Gerald's game was the reveal that the moon guy, he was real.
Oh, I love that.
I like that. Yeah.
I love the character and everything, but I didn't like the reveal that he was real. I would have liked for him to be dead, but we would have never knew, and she was imagining death in her insanity, or he was dead or not. I would have liked that better reveal instead of a real person.
See, I loved it that he was actually a real person, that he was actually there, because when that reveal happens in the film, it gave me chills. Like, every hair on my arm stood up. I'm a big, like, horror movie geek, so, like, it takes a lot for a horror movie to scare me, but that genuinely freaked me out.
Well, that's the thing. Gerald's game, there's the one scene, and we haven't talked about it yet, but the one scene in that movie that fucked me up, and I actually had to pause the movie, and I talked about it when we reviewed it, or when I reviewed it before. But the scene when the eclipse is happening, and the dad is sitting next to the girl, I honestly had to pause the movie. I had to go outside, do some push-ups, drink some holy water, and, like, just re-evaluate my life, because that is, like, some of the most cringeworthy, suspenseful moments I've ever seen in film in general.
Yeah, that's tough to watch.
I laugh because you said you were doing push-ups.
hey! But yeah.
I mean, for me, that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed the film, because You get the physical horror, from obviously the degloving scene and everything that happens in the bedroom. I mean, there's a lot of psychological stuff that happens in there, but you really dive into the real psychological horrors in those flashback scenes. So this film's just attacking you from every angle and just encompassing all of your fears and just throwing them back at you at once. And I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't agree more. I love Gerald's game. But Raul, what would you rate it?
Oh, the other thing, and before I rated it, I was saying to Troy, I thought that the twist of the whole movie was going to be that Gerald, I thought that the father we're seeing in flashbacks was a version of the father that she remembered. I thought that the twist was going to be that Gerald was her father, because Gerald was much older than her. So, talking about a creepy ending, I thought that Gerald was his father and he got married with his own daughter.
Oh, could you imagine? That would have been awesome. That would have been fucked up. That would have been fucked. But I would have loved it.
Well, you know that I like twist endings and very dark endings. You know that's a trend with me.
But yeah, no, I know I rated it. I want to watch it again, but my rating for it was a 9. I absolutely loved it.
I will give it a 9 only because of my nitpick that the moon guy was real. If that guy wouldn't have been real, I would have given it a 10.
Yeah, I loved it, but the way I personally rate movies, if something's a 9, it's gotta be like perfect. So like maybe an 8.5 for me. Okay. The more I sit on it.
Well, and actually, Brandon, we can segue right into that before we get into some of the movies that I saw. What were some of the movies you've seen recently, or even like what are some of your favorite movies that you've seen, or movies you consider to be perfect? I guess that's 3 questions.
I haven't seen a ton of movies lately the last few weeks because I've been focusing on, my YouTube channel and everything. So I was able to sneak in before I wake on Netflix about a week ago. So recently I saw, probably other than seeing The Last Jedi for the 5th time, I saw Insidious: The Last Key. I think it was my last trip to the theater.
Oh, and what did you think?
I really liked it. I thought I didn't love the 3rd one, so Agreed. For me this was a big improvement because it seemed like they were taking a few more risks and diving into the further a little more and the lore of everything, whereas to me chapter 3 kind of felt like a generic horror film that we've seen over and over again.
Agreed. Yeah, actually when I watched it, I think it was the 16th last month. But I ended up watching. I've never seen Insidious in my life, and I'm like you, Brandon. I'm a huge horror fan. So I ended up watching all of them in the row before seeing Last Key, and the 3rd one definitely is, like you said, it's very much generic. Great performances all around, but it didn't have what the first 2 I think are brilliant films. I absolutely loved the first 2, but the Last Key definitely was a great reform back into the original, the original film, and Leigh Whannell. He's so fucking great. I'm excited to see. He has a movie coming out this summer that he directed, so I'm curious to see, him go off and do his own thing. Because I love Saw. Saw is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I'm a big Saw fan myself. Even though Jigsaw wasn't that great, but
no.
Brandon, we're in the same page because I like Jigsaw, but I didn't love it as much as Troy loved it. Jigsaw.
Yeah, listen, I went to the movie theater, I watched it, I was like, it's a fun time at the theater, just watching people die, I guess. But there just didn't seem like there was a whole lot of substance there.
Honestly, I agree with you guys. 100%. I've actually seen it like 3-4 times.
Holy crap!
I ended up rewatching it a bunch of times. I do. I thought it was. I just like seeing people die. So.
They tried some things. I don't know if we should talk about spoilers.
Let's
talk about spoilers. Jigsaw was like 5 months ago.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, I try to be as considerate as possible, but yeah, it seemed like they were gonna try to do something really crazy where like they like made it like seem that like Jigsaw was still alive, and you're thinking, how the hell
Did he
happen?
survive a brain, like his brain being cut open?
Yeah. And then it just ended with, oh, this is actually like a flashback, and this is his first ever trap, and he's got like another apprentice.
another, yeah.
That's a thing, Brandon. That's a thing that you just said. I was like, how many fucking apprentices do you have? Because it's that guy from Jigsaw, Dr. Gordon,
Yeah.
the girl,
Yeah.
then the cop.
Yeah.
That's already 4. There's another one, right?
Well, everyone that survived his traps ended up ultimately being in on it at the end of Saw the final chapter.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Yeah, I'm curious.
The smart thing that Jigsaw did, all of them, they didn't knew each other. The only ones they knew each other was the cop and the girl. I forget her name, the girl with the bear trap.
Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda and the corrupt cop. They were the only two that knew each other. They didn't know the sister of Gordon and also this new guy in Jigsaw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm curious now. I don't know what the box office for Jigsaw was because I forget, but I'm curious if they're gonna do another one. I would be down.
They're gonna make another one because I think that Jigsaw made like $100 million worldwide and it cost like 10.
Okay, so then yeah, it was profitable.
Yeah, like I was thinking when I was seeing Jigsaw, I thought that the review was going to be that the Jigsaw we saw dying in Saw 3 was the twin.
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. Yeah, I was like, is this guy have a twin or something? What's going on?
That's the only way to explain it. I was like, they do like a Pretty Little Liars thing that they chase the cadavers.
I mean, they could get into like the Saw franchise could get into like mystical, like spiritual, like bringing back people from the dead. I don't know. That's like maybe when they go to space. They'll do that.
I mean, why not?
Like Saw 29 in space.
Oh, wait. Bring back Kramer's ghost, but into the doll.
Oh yes. Can we
The Chucky Jigsaw cinematic universe.
And the movie could just be called Billy. That would be awesome. I'd like it. But no, yeah. So Jigsaw, that's great. What were some of? I guess.
Oh my God, Troy!
What?
Billy versus Chucky.
Yes, versus Annabelle. Let's throw her in there too. But no, Brandon. Talking about Jigsaw, what were some? I guess overall, some of your favorite films that you've seen that are on your personal top 10, or just ones you consider the best?
In general, or from this past year?
Yeah, just in general.
Of all time.
Oh, of all time! Wow. My number one of all time is Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King.
Ooh.
Oh, good choice.
That is a 10 out of 10 for me. That's the bar, and I can't rate any other movies a 10 out of 10. If something's amazing, it's gonna be a 9.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, is that I'm out of all the geeky movies and shit, that is Lord of the Rings is the one that I've seen the least. So which one did you pick? 1, 2, or 3?
Oh, 3.
3. Okay, cool.
Yeah, the one that won Best Picture.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm curious to see, because I heard they're doing a TV show, right? For Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Amazon got the rights to do something. I'm still not exactly sure what it's going to be, if it's going to be its own thing or tie into Peter Jackson's films.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make an alternate universe. What if Gollum never found the ring?
Ooh.
And Bilbo kept the ring throughout those whole 60 years before the Lord of the Rings. That's the alternate universe.
Yeah, I don't know really.
And the Hobbit movies never happened. Problem solved.
I don't know. I don't know if I've told Raul this, but I've never seen the Hobbit movies. Neither.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not. I heard the first one was like okay, and then the sequel was shit, and then the third one was all right. But I just never. So I want to watch all of them again, like in order. But I don't have 24 hours in my life.
Like see the first one, in the second one skip to like the last 40 minutes, and for 2 only was the first 20 minutes and the last half hour.
I want someone. That's actually funny. If anyone's listening and is like a really good editor, because I mean I don't have the time to do it. If someone can make me a cut of all 3 Hobbit movies in one, I would definitely watch that.
Oh, talking about the only time that I edit something, like 6, 7 years ago, I was so bored and I have never tried to do the edit something. I download the first 4 Twilight movies before seeing the final one, and I edit them all the first 4 movies in 6 hours. In 4 hours instead of 8.
Wow.
I cut all of the stupid romance. I put out all the action sequences and the only good romance in the whole 4 movies. And I really like my cut.
Honestly, I'd watch that. I like the. I've seen the last Twilight. I think. I don't remember though.
Oh.
But
I don't have the cut with me, but I will find a way to send it to you.
I've always wanted to cut the Evil Dead films all into one movie and like edit out you can't edit out all of them. Edit out most of the continuity errors between the 3 films.
That would be great.
A question: would you add the remake?
I personally adore the remake.
I like the remake. That's my question, because Ash had a scene at the end.
I really hope at some point they can find a way to tie everything together and have it all make sense.
Well, Brandon, have you been watching Ash vs. Evil Dead?
Yeah, I have. I don't really love it as much as most people do, but I'm going to keep watching it because I love Evil Dead in general. But I think for my taste personally, sometimes I think it falls a little too much on the comedic side and not enough on the horror side of things.
I agree 100%.
Which is probably why I like the remake so much, because it's more focused on the horror, but if you really pay attention to the fine details, it's also still really cheesy at the same time. Like there's a whole scene where he like brings his sister back to life using like a car battery as a defibrillator. Like that's ridiculous.
No, you're right. I haven't. As Raul knows, I don't watch television, so I haven't seen any of the Ash vs. Evil Dead. But my dad watches it, and he thought it was pretty good. But
I think
Brandon, like I was saying to Troy has a trend that only seeing the first 2 episodes of a new show
or the finale,
and never keeps watching.
Or I'll just watch the finale season of the season.
Like he saw the season 7 finale of Game of Thrones without even watching a single episode of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones.
It's okay. I like Game of Thrones, but I don't love it as many people do. For me, it's okay.
But yeah, so Lord of the Rings. What were a couple other ones that you loved, other than I guess Evil Dead 2?
Let's see. Well, growing up, there were a few different movies that I would just watch on repeat all the time. Lord of the Rings, obviously, is one of them. All the Star Wars films. I think I like the Lord of the Rings films the most, but as a franchise, I gotta give the edge to Star Wars, just because it's space wizards with laser swords.
Do you actually remember the first movie you saw in theaters?
The first movie or the first Star Wars movie?
No, the first movie that you saw in theaters.
Oh man,
I know mine was X-Men.
I think if I could think really far back, I remember seeing the Iron Giant in theaters.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think it's 98 or 99, I think.
That might be the earliest one. I remember seeing The Phantom Menace in theaters. That was the first Star Wars movie I saw in theaters.
The first Star Wars movie I saw in theater was The Force Awakens.
Really?
And I cried my fucking eyes out. That was amazing.
Yeah, the first Star Wars movie I ever saw was Empire Strikes Back. Ooh. I had the VHS of the special edition. That was the first one.
Wow. Yeah. I love Star Wars. Yeah, I'm assuming you've seen The Last Jedi 5 times, so you loved it, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. The general gripes that most sensible people have with the film, about Canto Bight and everything, and that whole story arc, that it's not great. It kind of feels like a different movie, and it's just puts the whole Rey and Kylo and Luke thing to a dead stop to
Mm-hmm.
like go on this little like animal rights tirade,
Oh yeah.
which is fine, but you know.
Oh, Brandon, like after seeing it so many times, what's a thing that changed for you, but what's a thing that you still can't stand?
Oh man,
That's a good question.
the whole like I don't know, yeah, the Canto Bite stuff. Like I said, it's fine, but I don't really think it belongs in the movie. You could have chopped like 10 minutes out of that. Maz Kanata being shoehorned in for some reason with like a jetpack. That was weird. What else? I'm not sure. Some of the stuff with Luke at the end of the movie with the whole force projection thing, that's grown on me a lot more. I wasn't really sure of it at first.
There's actually, when I watched them, there's actually a line in Return of the Jedi that I believe it's Luke that says, someone asks him if he can save it or something. He mentions that if he were to do the projection, that he would die, and it's mentioned in Return of the Jedi.
Really?
Yeah, I should look into it. I'll tweet out the link if I can find it, or cut out the scene. But yeah, no. So that is something that like I didn't even like when I watched it a second time. I was like, wow, that's cool that they did mention it.
No, for me, like I said on our podcast, the only thing that still bothers me, already seen it 6 times, is Luke with the lightsaber thing.
Oh, the toss.
No, I love
it. I know, Brandon. I know that we started together again, but still, you saw me how I got mad, and I still get mad of that scene.
Yeah, it just, I agree. It does feel off, but I think it's just hilarious that we saw Luke do that.
I want to see in the Han Solo movie, if it happens, I want to see Han Solo with a pork. That's the only way that they could get me to see in the movie on opening night, because this is a thing, and I'm gonna say it. I'm not gonna buy tickets for the Han Solo movie. I'm gonna see it with the movie pass. That's how much my expectations are so low for the Han Solo movie.
I'm pretty excited for it myself.
I have to pay for it, Raul.
I will always bring movie pass, baby.
Movie pass is not in Canada, and I hate myself for it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, just kind of going through some of the films that I ended up seeing this week. I ended up seeing A Futile and Stupid Gesture, which is the movie about making National Lampoon. They threw it on there. It's starring Will Forte. Kind of silly, very what's the word I'm looking for? Very dumb, I guess, and very like a lot of vulgar jokes and stuff. But overall, it was fun. So I saw that. I watched The Polka King, starring Jack Black. That sucked.
How was that? Because I saw that thumbnail on there, and I was like, "This looks terrible."
Yeah,
I want to see that one. How was it?
I mean, it's Jack Black doing polka. That's the movie. Like, I gave it a 5 at 50% because I'm like, it was just boring for me. But yeah, it reminded me of Nacho Libre, if that says anything.
Oh, Nacho Libre is horrible. No, I don't want to see that movie. No. I just remember, I erased Nacho Libre from my mind.
I'm sorry.
I hate Nacho Libre as the same as Ghostbusters 2016.
Hey, that's not a bad movie.
Nacho Libre, I remember that I wanted to burn the theater exactly like in Ghostbusters remake.
Honestly, I don't remember Nacho Libre at all.
No, you gave me a flashback. It was already destroyed in my brain.
I'm so sorry,
now
Raul.
I remember in Nacho Libre.
But yeah, no, The Polka King, it's really not worth it. I mean, there's a documentary about the real guy. That's fascinating. But yeah, it's really about a guy who's just a scammer and he steals old people's money. But I watched that, and then I had a little binge of like survival films, because I was like, I just was curious. So I watched 127 Hours, Robert Redford's All Is Lost, Alive, which came out in 1993, and then I watched Ryan Reynolds in Buried. And all of those films I thought were great. 127 Hours is fantastic, though. That was my favorite watching it again.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Buried.
Ooh.
I want to see that one also. I haven't seen Buried.
Yeah, but that
It's-
reminds me of, because it's kind of just like him in a box the entire movie.
Yeah. No, like the entire. It's funny because I think they constructed 8 or 9 boxes throughout the film. And it's true, you never leave. It's such an isolated film. And Reynolds gives one of the best performances. I mean, people love him as Deadpool, but if you want to see him actually act and like give a great like dramatic performance, he like crushes your heart in Buried. It's such a good film.
No, talking about good performances, Ryan Reynolds, have you seen The Voices?
Yes!
Yes.
That movie's awesome.
That's a very great
Sing
Ryan
a
Reynolds
happy
performance.
That
song,
movie's
sing
crazy.
a happy song. Oh, come on, sing a happy song. Fucking love that.
Yes.
So I did that. I rewatched 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
That was my favorite movie of last year.
That movie's amazing. I laughed even harder the second time watching it, and that's very rare for me in like a comic, like in a comedy film, which I consider.
That movie's weird because like you laugh at stuff and it's like really inappropriate, and then something terrible will happen immediately after, and then
Well,
you
like-
have to like question yourself, be like, okay, I need to stop laughing now.
No, honestly, there's only 2 films that have done that to me. It was 3 Billboards, and then a couple. What was it? 2016 when A Manchester by the Sea came out. That film has a very weird, like humor vibe to it, yet is so depressing as well. So both of those films I loved, but 3 Billboards, man, that movie is fantastic. Easily the funniest movie of last year, in my opinion.
Yep.
But I watched that.
Yeah.
And oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, I never really thought of it as being one of the funnier films of the year. I mean, I remember laughing a lot in the theater, but I remember it more for its dramatic elements and everything. With I thought the whole character arc with Sam Rockwell was amazing.
Well, and even
it's because Three Billboards is like a dark comedy, so that's a very hard genre to sell.
mhm.
Maybe that, like for me, I laughed my ass off in Three Billboards, but yeah, there's also the dark drama behind it. It's a very unstable movie talking about genre, but still, I really like Three Billboards. It was like my number 8 from my top 10 of last year.
I wish I would have seen it before I made my top 10 because it would have. Well, it did now. It's on there, but I loved it.
Well, Troy, you don't have the LA life like me.
I know. But yeah, rounding out some of the other.
Sorry, LA life and Movie Pass.
Yeah,
life.
Movie Pass. I'm gonna cry myself to sleep after I watch the new Cloverfield movie tonight. But no, rounding out, I guess some of the other movies I saw. I watched for the first time Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Oh, that's great.
That movie's
I haven't
awesome.
even seen that movie. I want to see that one.
Raul, it is like. Did you ever see The Nice Guys?
Oh, I love The Nice Guys.
It's a lot like that.
So I actually watched them as a double feature a couple days ago, and those 2 movies are just incredible to me. Some of the coolest crime buddy cop films that I've seen in a while. And Robert Downey Jr., my only flaw for Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is Iron Man definitely ruined any movie that Robert Downey Jr. is in for me, because everything I see him, it's like, oh, that's Tony Stark. Like, I can't see him as a different character. But I don't know. Overall, I thought it was a fantastic film, and Val Kilmer's in it, and he blew me away. He had such a good performance.
Yeah. Paul Val Kilmer, he looks like crap right now.
Hey,
when you see that scene from The Snowman, holy crap.
The Snowman, I didn't even bother watching that thing.
Brand,
Brandon, I saw 30 minutes of The Snowman in theaters. Like, it's not only boring, it was so bad, and I fell asleep. I was like, damn, thank God. Because when I woke up and I saw the ending, I heard a lot of people crapping on the movie so much. I was like, oh, so I'm glad that I fell asleep. I was like, thank you.
Well, and that was the thing for me, because I ended up seeing the whole thing. But the only reason I continued watching it is because I was hoping that the twist is that the killer was actually a snowman. That was the only thing I was holding on to. But that's not the case.
That would be amazing.
And because like even all the like, hello, Mr. Snowman or Mr. Police, all that shit, that would have been amazing if it was just like, did you ever see the Michael Keaton movie Jack Frost?
I was just thinking about that. Like, it's actually Frost.
The Jack Frost Cinematic Universe. I tweeted about that before The Snowman came out.
But yeah, the only other two movies I saw, and this was yesterday, I ended up watching Mystic River for the first time, which is it won. Well, yeah. What's the two actors? Sean Penn and Tim Robbins won the Oscar for it. I thought that movie was fucked up, and it blew me away too. That was a very good film.
Yeah, talking about that era of Clint Eastwood, I like $1 Million Baby better.
I haven't seen it. I've never seen the only other Clint Eastwood movie I saw was the one he did with Bradley Cooper that made a shit ton of money.
American Sniper.
Yeah. I saw that. That was okay. I mean, aside from the fake baby.
No. Talking about great Clint Eastwood movies that he did for the last 10 years, Gran Torino,
I don't think
$1
I've
Million
seen that
Baby,
either.
and Mr. River.
Ooh. Well, I know watching Mystic River, it definitely was like, it made me want to go out and watch a lot of more films by Eastwood. Like, I've seen a lot of his acting stuff, but I never saw Gran Torino, so I definitely want to watch that too.
Oh, Gran Torino is like a Logan type story.
Oh.
That's the only thing that I'm going to tell you.
Awesome. But yeah, and the only other movie I watched, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 because I love this movie so much, is the remake of War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise.
Okay, wow.
I love it.
That movie is
5 out of 5.
I gave it. I think a big part of it is because I watched it a lot as a child, so it has like a sentimental value for me. Like I just loved it, and rewatching it again, that movie just like Dakota Fanning and even what's the boy that was in Dragon Ball Evolution?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like both of them, I thought they gave incredible performances, and I even teared up a little bit at the end when the boy Robbie he like comes out of the mom's house and sees Tom. I was like, I loved it, and the effects were great too. Oh, and
I love War of the Worlds. When I saw it in theaters, I was so scared.
yeah.
It scared me because, like I said on this podcast, if this is real, people, one of my biggest fears is to see an alien.
Yeah.
In real life, if I see an alien, I will kill myself immediately. I don't want to see one. I don't want to see the end of the world. I don't want to see aliens killing people.
Yeah, man.
But when I saw that scene, I was like 14, I think, or 12, when I saw it in the theaters. I wanted to get out. When seeing the people getting into dust, I was like, nope. No, it looked too real for me.
And especially that scene when the aliens coming through in the basement and Tim Robbins and them are like hiding through. That shit was incredible.
The Jurassic Park scene.
Yeah, dude, I loved it. But yeah.
I love War of the Worlds. I think that Brandon doesn't like it as much.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a while. I remember seeing it in the theater as a kid, and obviously as a kid, I was hoping to see a little more U.S. military actually fighting aliens.
Yeah.
But
it's more of like a family drama.
Talking about U.S. military destroying aliens, that's a movie that I hated. With the guy from The Dark Knight, Battle Los Angeles.
Battle Los Angeles.
Oh my god.
That movie was crap.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
I still want a refund.
I saw that in the theaters, and I think
saw
I
that
actually
in
remember
theaters.
liking it.
I don't even remember what that movie was like about, other than I don't even remember the ending to it. I should rewatch it.
I remember that he wanted to be like Cloverfield because it was a lot of shaky cam.
That came out in 2012 or something, right? Or 2011, I think. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Sometime around there.
But
Yeah, because I remember that District 9 was first, and like a year later, then became Battle Los Angeles and also Skyline, and like it was a trend with aliens in that time.
Skyline, that movie sucked too. I remember that. That was garbage.
I like Skyline.
I know that it's dumb, but that ending with the brains and one of the brains possessing one of the aliens, that's very ridiculous, but I like it at the same time. I still want to see the sequel. Oh, yeah, I should rewatch it. I don't remember much. I just remember falling asleep, so.
Well, I saw Skyline in the theater, so I remember.
I didn't even bother.
But yeah, those were the ones that I got to catch up on. I think overall, though, I think my favorite was either like 127 Hours, talking about Gerald's game, when the scene with her in the veins and like taking the handcuff off. The scene where he has to cut through his arm. Man, that shit fucked me up too. watching that again. And James Franco, I mean, sure, he's an asshole and a scumbag, but I think he gave a really good performance in this film. And I watched, actually, a bunch of the footage of the real event from the guy's camera. I searched online and I found it. He had the same mannerisms, and he gave a very good performance considering he was basing it off of a real dude.
When you say James Franco, like, I like him so much, but I still wonder if Sony would have never intervened with Spider-Man 3. Like, Sam Raimi wanted to be the James Franco villain movie. Ooh. I still wonder what would have happened in Spider-Man 3 if only James Franco would have been the villain.
I remember the, I don't know if you guys remember this, but like right after Spider-Man 3 came out, there was all those rumors that Malkovich was going to play the Vulture. And that would have been insane. I mean, I loved Michael Keaton's performance in Homecoming, but seeing John Malkovich being the Vulture would have been amazing.
Yeah, I think that was definitely Raimi's plan, was to do the Vulture, and I think they got somewhat far along on it before they decided to just reboot things.
Yeah, because I remember Anne Hathaway was going to be Black Cat.
Oh, yeah.
And also there was like a Mysterio cameo at the beginning.
Who would you guys get to play Mysterio?
Sam Raimi wanted Bruce Campbell to be Mysterio at the beginning.
Oh. I would have loved that. But wasn't Bruce Campbell in the Spider-Man films?
Yeah, he had like a cameo as like a different character in like each movie, and I think there's like a fan theory about him like being Mysterio, and he's actually Mysterio every time you see him. He's just pretending to be someone else.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
but no, yeah, that was that. Why don't we go into some movie news that came out in the last little bit, because I'm curious to hear your thoughts on them, Brandon. Did you see the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer?
I did.
What did you?
I thought it was really cool. I'm excited to see it. It's going to be really interesting now that Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp obviously is going to be a big part of it. So it's going to be cool to see their dynamic and interaction with one another. I liked that whole Pez dispenser thing.
That was cool.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, nothing about it really stood out or blew my mind or anything. Well, but it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Did you like Did you think the original Ant-Man was great? I thought it was okay. I want to watch it again though.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really good. Again, nothing too mind-blowing or awesome, but a really good time at the theater. I recently rewatched it for one of my YouTube videos. Yeah. And I think it still held up really good.
Well, and I think what definitely helps is like Paul Rudd's performance as Lang is like awesome. Like even getting like a comedic actor like Paul Rudd to be in the film, that was cool, and I'm excited to see him interact with everyone in Infinity War. I think that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it was fun to see him interact in a Civil War
with Cap.
You're Captain America.
So there was that, and then actually also I'm curious because I've been asking a whole bunch of other people this. What's your thoughts on the whole Marvel, Fox, Disney taking over the world? Chaos that's going on.
I mean, as far as the deal itself, I mean, obviously, I would love to see 20th Century Fox still be its own company, studio, aside from being owned by Disney, just to keep things a little more diverse in the industry. It doesn't quite. I think some people blow it out of proportion. I don't think it quite creates this monopoly that everyone thinks is going to happen, but it's still. We don't want to see this happen too much because we could ultimately move towards something like that.
Wow.
As far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe is concerned, I loved the X-Men being separate. Yeah. I think they fit better in their own world. I know a lot of huge comic fans really want to see the X-Men characters interact with the other Marvel characters, but that's just not something that I'm really personally interested in because to me, if a large amount of the population has mutant abilities, then being a superhero doesn't really become very special anymore.
Well, and you know what? I've had this theory. I mean, for I think 5 or 6 years now, where if like I've said if they ever do an Infinity War movie, like I've been predicting that they're gonna kill off every single Marvel hero that we have so far. So what if in Infinity War, aside from maybe like Tom Holland is Spider-Man because he's young, but like or like and Captain Marvel too, what if like the majority of 90% of the heroes die in Infinity War, and the transition is going to be now X-Men and Fox for Marvel, and they're not going to really focus a lot on Avengers.
I mean, that's one way they could do it, but I don't know. I kind of just have a hard time believing that they, would kill off all these heroes that all these kids
Could you
look
imagine,
up to
though?
And idolize.
Could you
like,
imagine?
They're dead now, little Timmy. Sorry. The X-Men.
Just kill Captain America. I hate 7. I hate them both.
No, I honestly, I just want them to follow the comics. Have them all die. Captain America's there fighting Thanos. And then all of a sudden, Adam Warlock shows up. And, that would be amazing. I don't know. I think people would freak out. And Marvel, I just couldn't imagine. If they were to kill off everyone, that would be insane. I would be amazed. But who knows? They're probably not going to do that.
Yeah, probably not, but I would be amazed.
I think they were gonna see everybody dying, but Doctor Strange is gonna make an alternate universe in Infinity War Part 2.
Ooh.
See, I don't know.
That would be them retconning it. I think people would be pissed off.
Well, I mean, they've got that reality gem, right?
Yeah.
So anything could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I didn't watch the first Infinity War trailer because I'm going in completely blind. But I ended up actually watching the 30-second spot that came out today or on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And seeing all those characters together, man, I had shivers. I think Infinity War is going to be one of those movies that, I'm probably already going to say it's my favorite superhero movie of all time.
Oh my God, you haven't even seen it yet.
No, but it's my favorite. I know. I'm seeing a movie where Spider-Man, Drax, and Captain America and Iron Man are in the same, oh my God. Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel is going to make an appearance. I'm going to have a heart attack watching that movie.
I don't know. It has some big shoes to fill. Still, for me, Spider-Man 2, for me, is the Citizen Kane of superhero movies for me.
What about Batman Returns, Raul?
Batman Returns is number 2, number 3.
You want to talk about a movie I watched a lot growing up? It's Batman, all the Batman films, but particularly Batman Returns.
I love Batman Returns. We saw the screening together, but Spider-Man 2.
I don't like it. No, it's shit.
Oh my God.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying. Fine, the movie's fine, but Tobey Maguire sucks.
Oh, I don't know.
Tobey Maguire is not Spider-Man.
That Troy, he loves Tom Holland.
Spider-Man Homecoming's the best. Spider-Man Homecoming and Logan are my 2 favorite superhero movies of all time. Right now.
That was a good year for you then.
Oh, dude, I was. You have no idea.
You sound like the Collider group right now.
No, dude, I'm honestly saying the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are fine, but they feel like Lifetime movies of Spider-Man. They don't feel like actual Spider-Man movies for me.
No, I'm gonna call Christopher Plummer right now.
No, don't recast me. No, I don't know. I rewatched them just recently.
I have Brandon right here.
Oh no,
so Brandon could be the new host.
But no, man. Like I said, it's for me. It was just Tobey Maguire. He was never Peter Parker Spider-Man for me. And then when I saw it. And I think also, I want on the record too, the reason I love Spider-Man Homecoming as much is because Tom Holland and me are the same age. So my whole life I've wanted to be Spider-Man, and I think there was something, me sitting in theaters, watching someone my age currently being Spider-Man, it just it did something to my head where I'm like, holy shit, I'm watching myself on screen right now. It was cool. But yeah.
I'm a purist. Tobey Maguire forever.
Boo.
I mean, I loved Spider-Man Homecoming, but I mean, definitely, I have nostalgia for the Raimi films. Sam Raimi, speaking of, Evil Dead earlier, he's my favorite director.
Well, and
so a little bit of a bias there.
I mean, I love the soundtrack, and it's the story, everything is great, but
Danny Elfman's score is fantastic.
Oh, so good. I listen to that when I'm on the train. I love it. But yeah, no.
Oh yeah, just wait for you in the train. I'm gonna show up with those dark tentacles, and I'm gonna kill
Oh, come
you.
on. Like, tell me you don't, like, start to cry when they give Spider-Man back his mask, and he just looks at them, and the little kid's like, we won't tell nobody.
Yeah, that's
come
great.
on.
And then Dr. Octopus, like, there's a part of the people, he says, if you want to go to him, you have to go through me and me. And
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God! It was Spider-Man 1. If you mess with Spider-Man, you mess with New York.
Hey,
you mess with us, you mess with us.
Hey, if anything, I probably like Spider-Man 3 the best out of all three.
What?
There's so many memorable quotes in the Sam Raimi trilogy. He stole that guy's pizza.
Okay, I will say one thing. Though. The best character in all of those movies was the fucking landlord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
That guy was awesome. That dude was cool.
No. The Citizen Kane of Spider-Man characters is J.K. Simmons and J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
You know who I was thinking could be a really cool J. Jonah Jameson for the new Spider-Man films? They should get Ice Cube.
Whoa.
Everybody has said that.
Oh, did they? Did I not? Oh, maybe I read that somewhere then.
I didn't hear that.
I think Ice Cube would be good.
I knew, but everybody has said that for the last 2 years.
Oh. Well, let's just say I came up with it first.
Well, I think I heard recently people were saying they should get, like, Gary Oldman to do it since J.K. Simmons is playing Commissioner Gordon now. Just have them swap.
Just have them swap? I would like that.
No, sorry, the DC is going to crap. Please, please Disney, grab J.K. Simmons back for him being J. Jonah Jameson.
Well, I was talking to Raul about this I think maybe a couple weeks ago. But I was really bored one night, so I made my own Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Phase 3 and Phase 4 going forward. And my cast for Spider-Man Graduation, which would have been the next Spider-Man film, I added Timothy Chalamet, the guy that was in Call Me by Your Name. He'd play Harry Osborn, because I think he would be fantastic. His dad, Norman Osborn, played by Matthew McConaughey. And the villain of the film, get Mark Hamill to be Doc Ock.
Oh, interesting.
He's too old.
Oh,
is he too old? On. How old is he? He's not.
Mark Hamill?
As Doc Ock?
He's like 65, almost 70.
Yeah, I would love to see. I don't know what they're gonna do for the sequels of Marvel. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot. I
could be Doc Ock. Like Alfred Molina, he's Mexican, so I'm Mexican too, so I can do it.
I will say that
me or Guillermo del Toro, we could be Doc Ock for the next Spider-Man movie.
I mean, like, I'm biased because I want you to be Doc Ock, but could you imagine Del Toro acting as Doc Ock? That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can he act?
He just probably has to be himself, to be completely honest. People will fall in love with him.
Because this is a thing that me and Troy said like a few podcasts ago. Guillermo del Toro, he has never cameo in one of his movies. Never. That's the most interesting thing about Guillermo. Why he has never done that.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, like, talking about, like, directors and stuff, there aren't many directors that do cameo in their films. And, like, I think it's a shame. Like, you might as well get some extra credit for your movie. You know, even if it's, like, a walk-by scene or, you know, anything like that.
Yeah, like, I was saying to Troy, like, if we made a movie together, I want to have a cameo. I could be the guy that delivers a line like, "Oh, they're gonna die," or a guy that says like a very heavy exposition line, and then he randomly disappears or dies. I want to have a cameo, or during the classic Alfred Hitchcock cameo, I show in an elevator and do the shadow thing, and that's it.
I think I'd like to be a villain.
Really,
and like ham it up really good.
Yes.
Well, and actually, talking about directors, I haven't talked to Raul about this yet, but there was the report that came out this morning, or I guess Sunday morning, of Uma Thurman talking about Tarantino on the set of Kill Bill. Did you guys see this?
Oh my
I did,
God, what happened?
Okay,
I
so
did see it, but I didn't really read into it.
so pretty much what it comes down to is Tarantino. I love the guy. I love his films, but he made some very amateur mistakes on Kill Bill. There's the one scene. You guys know that blue Mustang in the film? If you remember it, there's a scene where she's driving a car anyway.
Yeah.
And the car, they had turned from a standard to an automatic. And the seats were loose. It just wasn't drivable. So what ended up happening is Tarantino forced Uma to drive in the scene. And she ended up crashing, getting permanent injuries on her legs. And that's the reason why she hasn't done a lot of action films yet. And all of the stunt coordinators, all of the people outside the sets, they were all against it, telling Uma not to do it. But Tarantino forced her. And there was also reports that, like, the scene where she spit at and getting choked, Tarantino did that as well. So a lot of people are thinking that, like, this was around the same time when Weinstein was helping with, production with Kill Bill. So, it's crazy. All these stories coming out about all these guys, it's a shame, really.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
But, like, for me, like, I'm an amateur director. Hopefully one day I make it in Hollywood. But, like, the number one fucking rule on set is you make sure that your actors and your crew are safe.
Yep.
So, like, to me, that was, like, very, very dumb of Quentin to do that.
So that's the headline. I thought that Quentin Tarantino did. I know that is something bad, and I know it is bad, but I thought he did, like, sexually abuse her or something.
Well, a lot of people, like, I was reading a lot of comments, and a lot of people were talking about, like, Kubrick, right? Mm-hmm. Talking about, like, The Shining. Kubrick is that dude that would put people in such emotional stress. And I think it's good now that we're having the conversation of, like, what is too far and what are the boundaries. Because, with Tarantino, like I said, I just think they should have had a car that was working, and the whole situation was just very amateur to me. I don't, like, there must have been something else that we haven't been told, because it just doesn't make sense why those decisions were made to me. But no, it's a shame that all of these, like, guys are fucking assholes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, welcome to Hollywood, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if this applies to that particular situation, but we've just, like, seen more and more come out about just, people with power, really, above all things, and they just abuse people with it.
Yeah, it's just insane, man. Raul, if I ever abuse you with my power, let me know, because I'm sorry. But it's okay.
Sure, I've got Christopher Plummer on speed dial. It's fine.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I have Christopher Plummer on speed dial. I have a lot of people on speed dial.
Well,
like we said on the hiatus, I almost divorced you. I almost sent you the papers.
Please don't. But no, guys, that's kind of any of the thoughts I had. Raul, was there anything you wanted to talk about before we kind of ended the episode?
We need to ask more things about Brandon.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, because he's a new guest. Like, this is a good question. Was the first twist on a movie that surprised you, or was the first twist that you saw in the movie that you never saw coming?
Split.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Split.
Split. Let's see. I mean, just off the top of my head, the ending of the original Saw movie, when, like, John Kramer just gets up, he's that guy that you just thought was dead the whole time, and game over. There's a lot of good twists that, like, actually have been, like, ruined for me.
Oh,
like, I've still have never seen Usual Suspects.
Same with Raul.
I know the ending. So I just don't even care.
I was very lucky that, like, I think it was 2 years ago. I had never seen the film either, and I had one friend. He would call me every single hour until I saw the film, because when he found out I never saw it, he was pissed. So I would every hour I'd get a notification, watch it. I think I spent it maybe like a week and a half, and it drove me crazy. So I ended up watching it, and I didn't get the spoiled. I didn't get it spoiled for me. So, but it's a shame that you know that.
And like another thing, like same thing with The Sixth Sense. Although I've seen The Sixth Sense and I really like it, but that and Usual Suspects, those are just two movies that their twists are just so famous. They're just intertwined with pop culture, and one way or another, someone's gonna spoil it for you.
Yeah, this is a good one. Like a famous twist, like The Sixth Sense. I remember when I saw the movie like 20 years ago, and it didn't like, oh my god, I was like, oh, okay, so he's a ghost. Like he didn't like, oh my god, this is the best fucking twist of the whole time, like a lot of people did. But what is a twist that a lot of people consider like the most greatest twist of all time? But you said it's okay. Like,
that's a good question.
I could think of a twist that people hate that I kind of like.
Okay.
Oh, which one?
The twist at the end of The Village.
Oh yes, I agree. I'm on your team. I agree.
I hate that one.
I think it's really clever.
I like it. I agree.
Oh, it's true. I know that it's clever, but I was so disappointed when I saw that movie. I saw that one in theaters.
Well, I guess like the way it was advertised.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Brandon, did you see it like watching the trailers first, or did you just watch it?
I mean, I might have seen like a couple trailers or TV spots here and there, but pretty much went in fresh.
Okay.
It was like years ago.
When I remember, like, that was the big thing when everyone mentions is The Village. Like, to me, it's like, I watched it blind. Like, I didn't know anything about it. So the whole, like, romance, like, I bought it and I loved the ending to it. But a lot of people that did see the trailers and the advertisements, like, they were expecting something else.
Exactly, because it's not, like, it was advertised as this, like, horror thriller with these monsters, and it is really more of a love story.
Oh, this is the comes at night paradox again. The studio selling a movie differently. I
have a question. I got one. Brandon,
okay.
So, talking about 2018 movies, what are some of the movies this year that you're, like, really looking forward to?
So, I'm actually really looking forward to Han Solo. And I'm probably one of the very few people that would, if I had to pick between seeing Han Solo or Avengers, I'd probably pick Han Solo.
Oh my god! Wow, that's awesome.
My love for Star Wars is that strong.
Well, still, Disney wins your money.
Yeah.
Both movies are Disney.
Either way, we win. But, like, I really do love the MCU movies, but I don't know, their luster's kind of worn off for me over the years. I go see them opening weekend, I have a good time, but it kind of ends at the theater. Whereas Star Wars, I just stew on and I think about it all day, every day, and I argue with strangers on the internet. But, I mean...
I agree. I see that, though.
Yeah, despite its production troubles... It's a Star Wars movie that is directed by Ron Howard and written by Lawrence Kasdan.
Starring Woody Harrelson.
Is enough for me. Sold.
All you had to say was Woody Harrelson was in a Star Wars movie, and I'm seeing it. That dude's awesome. And that's why I loved seeing Benicio del Toro in Last Jedi, even though people don't like his character. Seeing an actor of that caliber being in a Star Wars film was just really cool for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I liked him enough. I don't think he was like a hindrance on the movie or anything. Mm-hmm. But, that whole storyline I thought was kind of useless.
So there's Han Solo. What about So are you looking forward to Black Panther?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm probably... I might be more looking forward to that than Avengers. I thought that Black Panther was the highlight of Captain America Civil War.
Spider-Man.
He was number 2. I just thought Black Panther, he was so badass. He was just like smooth.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
He's just...
the fight sequences, a lot of his that's what I'm looking forward to for Black Panther. I mean, soundtrack aside, because I love Top Dog, and Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite musicians, and like Schoolboy, all those guys over there are great. But like the action and seeing Coogler, like I loved Creed because of the boxing scenes. So I want to see like what he does in Black Panther for some of the action. The trailers have like blown me away so far.
I think I made this question to Troy also and a lot of guests. Was the first TV cliffhanger that it made you like, oh my god, like that you scream and everything, like the first TV cliffhanger
on TV?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, also my number one television show of all time is Lost.
Yes. Me too.
So, I guess for me, then if I had to pick something from there,
oh Charlie,
you're gonna say we have to go back.
I mean, there's so many of them. I mean, so that's probably the show that I've watched the most. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking about the end of season 2.
Oh yes.
When they get like
isn't the end of season 2 is when you find out about the boat that is coming to the island?
Well, kind of. It ends with you finding out that Penny Widmore was looking for the island that they had just found.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's the cliffhanger.
That's such a good show. That's a show that I watched all of it. That's one of the rare ones.
I think it's the best show of all time. I don't care what anyone says.
The only show that I put like above it, only a little bit for me because I love the dark kind of vibe of it. But True Detective season 1, it is one of the best television shows I think I've seen in the last little bit.
Yeah, I've actually never watched it. So,
yeah, you got to do. Well, Woody Harrelson and McConaughey give some of the best performances, and it's about a serial killer, so it's very very hard to watch at times. Some of the things you see.
Mm-hmm. For me, the best TV show of all time is
Pretty Little Liars,
and it's still going. no, Pretty Little Liars is not even near my top 20. Pretty Little Liars destroy me.
I swear, at the end of this episode, next week, if you guys have Christopher Plummer on, I understand.
No. I have an idea. I was telling to Troy, and I can tease it like a lot of people got mad with The Last Jedi because it didn't fulfill their theories and expectations. But a lot of people are hating The Last Jedi so much, and we see the downfall of the box office, etc. But I would like to make a viewpoint of me when I talking about Pretty Little Liars. And Pretty Little Liars, I have so many theories, a lot of them. And when I saw the reveal, I was like, no, it doesn't make any sense. It makes a lot of plot holes, blah 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 blah. And I didn't even accept it. I tried many times to accept it. I was like, it still doesn't make any sense. And with The Last Jedi, I want to make this flip point that I was making the same theories like a lot of fans did. But when I saw The Last Jedi, I was like, it was okay. I can see the viewpoint of the director. This makes sense in this way and this way. And I would like to compare the different viewpoints of when someone makes a theory and accepts the realization of they imagine. They accept the real result that the director or writer wanted to do. And how would they react when it's negatively? But try to see that the fan also maybe is right in his viewpoint. Like for me, I could make my viewpoint of all of the plot holes and all of the stupid storylines that the stupid reveal in Pretty Little Liars caused. Because the director, because this is true. And you can find it also, Brandon, like, the director and writer, Marlene King, she made that reveal that CC Drake, that she was a transgender half-brother of Alison De Laurentiis, and she was saved for the last 3 seasons. And she only made that transgender twist because Caitlyn Jenner was the trend back in season 6. And she caused so many plot holes because only for that. It's not only that also. My viewpoint is, I even said in one of the first episodes of this podcast, they're making that a transgender person, and also because this girl was a man before, and then she went to an asylum. They putting out that a person of the LGBTQ community, she was like that because she was also a psychopath, or maybe a person of the LGBT community has to be a psychopath, and that's a thing that the writer didn't do that well, because a lot of people, even the LGBTQ community, you can find it on Reddit, they stopped supporting the show because of that twist, because they noticed that she didn't manage that twist well. And so there's a lot of things that I haven't said. Like my obsession with Pretty Liars was much bigger than Star Wars for me. Like I followed the whole stars on Snapchat, Instagram. I saw them every move. Even the writers, like how they wrote, like how they went to Star Wars. Like I was so obsessed with Pretty Liars. Like, and I even wrote my own theories and everything. Like I don't know why I got so obsessed with that show.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with like there's certain properties and stuff that people just gravitate more towards, and I feel like for Pretty Little Liars with you, it was something that like you didn't maybe obsessed over, but like you got so into it that like that yeah, maybe your expectations ruined that part for you. That I mean, aside from maybe the plot holes, I guess. I don't know. I've never seen it. But Star Wars.
The other viewpoint that I was going to say is the setup.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that hated about, people said this. J.J. Abrams set up that the parents of Rey was going to be important people. He set up Snoke and all of this setup that J.J. did. And a lot of people that hated The Last Jedi was like, no, Ryan came and destroyed everything. Destroyed the. Yeah, you know that a lot of people are saying that. So.
I mean, he worked with JJ on episode 8. JJ knew exactly what was going to happen.
I know, but you know how the fanboys are reacting.
Yeah, and
so that's why that is my point. Like, the other thing that about a lot of people hated from Pretty Little Liars, that the writer, instead of focusing on all of the setup that she was making throughout the whole series, she didn't pay off like 50% of the storyline because she focused on a thing that the public wanted her to do. Because the other thing with Pretty Little Liars, like a lot of people like me in my age, not only men and women, the thing that they loved the most from Pretty Little Liars was the mystery. We didn't want to know about the stupid romantic crap. We wanted to know the story about A. We wanted to see A destroy the town. We wanted A to kill the girls, everything. Mm-hmm. But no, the show focused so much on the romance, and it was a teen show, but there was so many great setup, and the payoff was so bad and ridiculous, and they treated a lot of fans like morons. So I was like, you're gonna receive the crap that I'm giving you, and you're gonna be satisfied with it. And a lot of people right now on Reddit, they're still talking about how that plot twist, especially with Shredder's finale, how the writer didn't even care, not even to give us a good payoff at the end.
Wow. Yeah, that's a shame, man. I hate when shows do that. The show for me that... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm normally pretty accepting of, most of the time, pretty accepting of whatever I'm given from the writers of the show or a movie. A lot of people are so critical, like, oh, that character would never do that, or like, oh, that character, that's a stupid decision. Why would they make that? And to me, I'm like, well, sometimes people do stupid things.
Well, I think a question that a lot of fan films, I'm curious what you guys' thoughts on this are, and this might contradict every review that I've ever made or stuff. But at what point can we really criticize a director or writer's story? Because that's the story that they want to tell. So if characters are making decisions and there's specific scenes that are going on, like, sure, we can judge a film based on like the technical aspects of it, let's say, right? But for the actual story aspects, at what point do the audiences should step back and say, well, it really isn't our say?
Yeah, because like you said, Troy, the thing that harmed the most in Pretty Little Liars was that the writer listened to the audience. And like 70% of the audience was stupid girls, 12-year-old girls on Tumblr that the only focus was the romance.
Yeah.
That was the biggest mistake of the writer in the studio. They said, no, you need to listen to those stupid, our fan base of stupid 13-year-old girls, instead of focusing on the things that she set up.
Whereas like a Rian Johnson, he went in and made a Star Wars film that was his own. And he didn't listen to really anyone. He didn't
focus on the fan theories. And
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the fan community, like they do need to learn to be more accepting of, like, you're going on this journey from the director and the writers, and this is their story. It's not your story. You don't get to decide the story that's being told. So, like, for instance, in The Last Jedi, a lot of people excuse me, are upset that we didn't get a lot about Snoke. But, I mean, Snoke just isn't really that important to the story that Rian Johnson was telling. Like, it's like he has Snoke's story and his journey is not part of the journey that we're on with Rey and Finn and all those characters. So yeah, it's really interesting, like stuff. Oh, I'd love to know these things, but sometimes you just got to accept that certain things that you want to know don't really pertain to the story that the director's trying to tell.
Yeah, and also, like you just said, with the characters in like with Star Wars, like another thing that many people hated from Pretty Liars, that not only the original A and the transgender ACC and the other new A, their whole motive of those three A's for destroying the girls was because they were friends with Allison. Instead of the setup that the show was making, that one of the girls was involved in one of the murders of all of the murders that happened in the town, that they were guilty of something. And their only guilt that they had was they were friends with the bitch girl. That was the most stupidest payoff through a 7-year storyline. And that's the other, for me, like, like another thing I was saying to Troy, like, I was still really thinking of doing like a whole video of how would I have written Pretty Little Liars. Like, for me, I would have made one of the girls kill Allison, and also to respect the twist from the book, that one of the girls killed the twin by mistake, but they didn't knew.
Ooh.
And now the evil Allison and the books wants to kill the girls, and that's a pretty good motive because they killed their sister. And in the books, this didn't happen. In the books, Allison killed her own sister for her to get away.
Oh. Okay.
So that's why I'm making a twist, respecting the book, but making a flip on that twist. That the girls were also responsible for that murder.
Yeah.
Making the whole suffering of the whole books and show acceptable, because they deserve that suffering.
Yeah, I want to see this. Every time you talk about this show, I want to watch it, but then I know I'm going to be disappointed. Maybe I should just read the books.
Yeah, I would not like you to waste 140 hours of your life, because it's 140 episodes. But at the same time, I would like you foresee my viewpoint of the show. Because for me, as a fan of horror, as a fan of thrillers and mysteries, that's the thing that got me hooked.
Well, and like I'm a similar fan, so maybe I would have a similar perspective.
Yeah, I know it. Like, everyone is different, and I'm very of the few people in the world that they were males in their 20s that saw Pretty Little Liars from the beginning.
But no, anyway, why don't we go into one of the last segments here about the movies that are coming out this week. And man, do we have a incredible, exciting week ahead of us. We have my most anticipated movie of all of 2018 coming out, 50 Shades Freed. I'm still debating if I'm going to see this in theaters with like all the old 40-year-old moms.
Oh my god, I want to see the moms, the dildos, the vibrators, everything. I'm gonna see it on Thursday night.
Now, I might have to do like see, this is one of those franchises. I don't think I'm gonna. I can't watch all three of them in a row. I might just have to go see this one without remembering the other two.
Oh, see the new Screen Junkies video.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Rock
yeah.
Cornet recapping the first two movies in like 6 minutes.
Yes, I'll watch that, then go see it. But we have Brandon. Are you excited for 50 Shades Freed?
Not at all. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's 105 minutes, so it's even longer than an hour and a half. So that's bullshit.
I didn't even bother seeing the first two.
Hey, I will say,
I just remember hearing about the novel, and it's just apparently riddled with grammatical errors.
Yes.
And she ends up actually like also being the screenwriter of the film, and that you can't even write a novel. Now you're trying to write a screenplay. I'm not even gonna bother with this.
Hey, the first one
that's what I was gonna say.
is a masterpiece compared to the sequel. The sequel is so bad.
I will say though, like the thing for me for the first one, I did like the cinematography. It's a very beautiful looking film, and the actors are hot. So like, you know, it's not hard to watch. But no, I'm not looking forward to it. The only other movie I know Raul is like dying to see is that new Clint Eastwood Army movie. It's called The 1517 to Paris. It's 3 Americans discover a terrorist plot aboard a train while in France. I think this might be good. Who knows?
Talking about a controversy, remember that thing that I told you like 2 weeks ago? Now people are talking about it, that they feel really... Is this movie glorifying the heroes instead of some other actors portraying the heroes instead of the real people portraying themselves in a recreation in the movie?
Yeah.
Remember that I told you this like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
I remember I was talking with my mother like 3 weeks ago also about that movie. I was like, if this is a movie, a documentary, what the hell is this movie about? Is it a reenactment?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like Eastwood's on this part of his career where he's just making these movies based on these recent real-life events. You know, with like American Sniper and Sully, and now this film.
Well, I think for me, the only reason I'm kind of curious to see it is because he's like almost 90.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing.
So I'm curious to see, like, I mean, George Miller with Mad Max Fury Road. I know he's not that old, but like that was incredible to me. So I want to see what this old dude can do. If it's anything like Mystic River, I mean, I'll be down.
I just imagine the director's Avengers, the guy from Mad Max, Clint Eastwood, Ridley Scott, and Christopher Plummer, just to add him also because he's really old and he did everything in 1 week.
Yeah. So we got
the Hollywood Expendables.
Yeah. No. The only other movie coming out this week is Peter Rabbit.
Yes. Hawks versus James Corden. I'm gonna see that movie in 3D.
No, you know what else I did? No, I mean, that's cool, but like all 3 of my girlfriends are in this movie. Margot Robbie, Daisy Ridley, and Rose Byrne.
Wait, Daisy Ridley is in there?
What?
Oh, I gotta go see it now.
I didn't even knew that Margot Robbie was in there.
Yeah, look, okay, this is the cast. You ready? So you got Margot Robbie, Daisy Ridley, Domhnall Gleeson, Elizabeth Debicki, Rose Byrne, Sam Neill, James Corden, and Sia.
What? Sam Neill? Oh, I gotta go now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't know even what this movie's about, to be completely honest.
I mean, I saw a couple trailers of some CGI rabbits harassing Domhnall Gleeson.
It is from the director of Easy A and Friends with Benefits and the reboot of Annie. So
Interesting.
So it could, I don't know.
Listen, I'll go see anything with Daisy Ridley, and she's the love of my life.
And Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is not fair. I'm sure if there's an angel, that it's her. Like she fell from heaven, I swear. But yeah, no. Okay, so out of those 3, which one are you guys going to see?
The rabbit one.
The rabbit one. Yeah. Oh. Hopefully it's like the bear one that just came out.
Bear one?
Yeah, what's it called? The English bear movie? Paddington.
Oh, Paddington.
Hopefully it's like Paddington.
I I doubt it, but that'd be nice. Yes.
But yeah, so those 3 are coming out. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our newest episode of the Monday Show. Oh,
Hey, come on, free. Hello?
Did Raul die?
Raul's
Yeah.
freezing it up over here.
I freeze up again.
Oh, you're good now.
Oh, you're coming in clearer now.
Yeah, just make the outro, Troy.
Okay, so I was gonna say, where can we find you guys on Twitter? I know Brandon, we can find you at Brandon Hannon 07. Is that your handle?
Yeah, Brandon Hanna 07 at Twitter and Instagram.
And then why don't you talk about your YouTube channel? Kind of plug it a little bit so the people know where to go. We'll put
Sure, yeah. It's my name, Brandon Hanna. I do a few different things. I have a show that I've been doing called Film Physics,
which is awesome,
where
by the way.
I talk about physics in movies.
Yeah,
and,
it's so cool. Like, it's really really awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just trying to combine, because I'm a mechanical engineer. That's my day job. So I would try to combine my love for science and movies, and I thought this was the perfect way to do it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I also started another show called 90 Second Science, where I explain scientific topics that I feel like are important for people to know to be scientifically literate, and I just do my best to explain everything in 90 seconds.
Well, Brandon, if it helps, I am a guy that does not. I failed science. Like, I am not math. Like, I'm more of an English dude. So when I was watching your videos, like, sure, like, I knew a little bit, but like, you do a very, very good job at like explaining it for people that have no idea what's going on, and like, I really appreciated that. Your videos have been very informal for me.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm really happy to hear that. I like to think I'm getting better at explaining things, so that's really nice to hear. Thank you.
No worries. But yeah, anyone that's listening, please go check it out. We're going to have links in the description below. And Raul, we have really a cool announcement for everyone. We're finally on iTunes. And that is insane.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to have that description in the link as well. But Raul, where can we find you, as always?
You can find me at Raul Better RDC. I would like to see Brandon explain the moment in the season 4 finale of Pretty Liars how A survived jumping from 2 different buildings from New York and still run away.
I'd have to see it, but that sounds like it could be fun.
But no, we also want to plug the Tough channel. Please go check them out. They're really great friends. And then also Sunday, I posted a whole bunch of Super Bowl reaction videos, so please check that out. Raul has his Schmodown reaction up on the channel and a couple other trailer reactions. So please check all of that out. You can find me on Twitter at Troy Loxton. Peace out, motherfuckers.